Hey guys, I haven't made a video in a while. Trusty with BAIR. So today we're going to be going over a very fun topic that is not discussed at all, but I know that some people would very much appreciate it, and it's something that I've been wanting to put out for a while, and now I have the opportunity to do so. Now, what is it? Well, as you saw in the title of the video, it is the difference between the old real-action paintball marker pistols and the modern real-action paintball part. What a tongue twister. Real action paintball marker pistols. So, rap hap, if you will. So, let's get this started. So what are we going to be discussing today? So we're going to be going over the classic pistols and the new pistols, which are used obviously not only in recreational paintball, but are amazing tools to utilize for law enforcement and different people that use them for training. Simulation for home defense or real shooters, what have you. Pretty much your 43 cal club, if you will. So, let's get this started. We're going to first cue the APS Wrap Ram X50 P226, a SIG design, a SIG pistol. Now, what is the main features that sets this apart from what they now make today? What do they not have today that they used to make back then? Well, I'll begin this with something that I'm going to repeat a lot, and I apologize in advance. External hammer. Now, some may say that's become a lot less famous on the market now because everybody leans toward a striker design, which is more commonly a flat rear. Now, for those of you that carry M1911s, 2011s, M9s, P226s, P220s, CZs that, have hammers like they should, and other hammer-fired pistols, we know that in often terms with modern modularity and interchangeability, we're not very well represented. Fact. Whereas the striker model, they're usually modular. They're very compatible with different other brands in regard to magazines or parts. They're just more popular. It's what not all, but far majority of law enforcement and different federal agencies utilize. Do a couple of exceptions, like different police departments utilizing the 1911 or 2011, Marine Corps, which I think still services the M1911 mod. Anyways, getting on topic here. External hammer, and the P226 model actually has a decocker. What does that do? Well, it decocks your hammer. Yeah. Whereas newer models, they don't have that because they are striker design. Even though, a funny little fact, these striker design pistols, this is the M&P, the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0, which is the second Mark II of their duty M&P. Pretty decent pistol, by the way. They are actually, like all of the new whistleblower, disclaimer, like all of the real action pistols now, they are actually internal single action hammer. Now we're going to spend the next 2 minutes, so if you want to skip 2 minutes, go ahead. We're going to spend the next 2 minutes explaining what am I talking about? So, a single action, cue the 2011 design. This is an airsoft one I've had for about 6 years. 7 years. This is a SSP-1 done by Umarex 2011 high cappa pistol. An airsoft design uses CO2 or green gas magazines. Interesting, isn't it? Yeah, or green gas, which you can, in your loo, use propane and others. But a single action is where one trigger pull, the hammer goes forward. I cannot reactuate the hammer. Whereas, utilizing a single double action, hammer is forward, I can reactuate and restrike with that hammer. Which, another benefit to this is I can actually put it in single action for crazy crisp and light trigger pull. Amazing. Amazing. Why did they do away with them? Taxes. I don't know. Then you have striker design, which, even though this is internal hammer, gives away how a striker would work, most of which aren't restrike capable. You pull the trigger, see there's nothing back there because it's all internal. Single, you fire, and no, it's not a freaking spring pistol. Sorry, that was probably loud and a little obnoxious. It is where you fire, boom, it comes back and rechambers around. Just same airsoft, same reel. Okay, is my 2 minutes up? My 2 minutes is about up. So, getting back on topic here, another worthy note of this one, I really love these 226s, is that with these old wrap pistols, either from the 226, the Magnum Industries Desert Eagle, that's a big old boy, isn't it? Hammer. All of which use these little cheapo $15, well, I know they still sell the 226 ones on Modern Combat Sports, makes us Modern Combat Sports, for $15. They use these little cheapo mags. So if you're down there getting in the doogie with, your John Wick sort of style, and you flick a magazine and it pretty much goes into Taiwan, you lose it on the field. It's 15, which you don't want to go spending, buying a bunch of $15 mags. But it's a lot less of a than losing a $50 to $60 consistently a fair price for them on eVic, e-bike, McSus, other places, Amazon. They're $50 to $60. Flicking that guy out, I don't even remember breaking it. $50, man. You just $50 bill just flew away. Another thing, both are notably good pistols. Now, what's the point of this video? And a lot of enthusiasts are going to be thankful I made this video. But the difference between the two, not only is the mechanism, it being external hammer, same with the Deagle, if you guys want a little bit more Deagle time to look at. External hammer, I'm a little guy, kind of a beefy handgun. Is that striker? Internally, they are different. So, whereas you have a small magazine like this from your 226, your classic APS Umarex Ram X50, P226, that's what I'm going to call it. Whereas you have that with these small little stick mags, with these with the new pistols, the real action paintball pistols, which I think are T4E Umarex branded. By the way, they do Glock, PPQ, the M&P. I think they do a Walther or two. They do 5 of these striker design, no hammer design. Go figure. Go figure. They're all different variations of CO2 and mag. No CO2 in mag. CO2 in gun. As you can see right there, you twist the CO2 in and it pumps the CO2 canister cartridge. Now, what's the benefit? Why not do these cheap mags, man? I'll tell you. Reason being is because when you go to work on these pistols that leak inside, especially now that nobody sells the correct O-rings, it's a real B word trying to repair these things, and it really, really stinks because as far as I know, myself, and myself are the only ones that I know, that sounds a little bit mean, that can repair them, again, that I know, and that's off of Facebook groups, different Reddit forums. I'm starting to sound like a nerd. It's a real disappointment because it's really hard to find the repairment parts for this. If you do, it's probably some guy that lives in the Netherlands that overcharges. I won't give out names. You know who you are, dude. Sad that the days of using those are coming to an end because just generally O-rings go out. Whereas these, you're more likely or not going to replace this magazine. So in the long run, this makes sense. This makes sense. It's just, it's very much so a disappointment Because even though probably a majority of you guys will, I'm sorry for the lighting, will be a fan of these newer paintball uh, marker pistols. But you gotta admit, they are pretty classy. Um, you'll always have those that kind of side more with the classic hammer fire OG freaking hammer fires. Yeah, you can actually raise the hammer off the firing block pin or firing pin too. Just kudos to those designs, man. APS, you guys made some pretty cool stuff with Umarex. But I'm going to go ahead and conclude this, but I just want to say that the designs they're making now, whereas there's so many different components in these P226 pistols. Yes, I have 3. I've been collecting them for a little while. I do use them, though. I'm not like a craphead collector that hogs them to myself and just lets them sit and sells them for triple what they're worth. I actually really enjoy using these guys. But the parts, they're finicky because there's so many O-rings and different seals, whereas the magazines to the new modern ones, they take a lot of that load, a lot of that function, if you will. Whereas these guys, the internals of these, because it's just a stick mag, these pistols take the full blunt force of that powerful CO2 cartridge wreaking havoc and putting wear on the internals to these guys. And that's just like how CO2 wears the crap out of your Tippmann 98, your generic paintball gun. CO2, it's powerful as crap, but it's really tough on your stuff. HPA is a lot safer. Same with, where did I put my mags? I've got extra ones up here, but I don't want to have them all over the table. Whereas you have the CO2 and green gas, even though I lean more towards CO2, as you can tell, it's a little bit... a little bit more worn down, the CO2 is, than my green gas. Green gas is better on your gun. But, stay on topic so I can conclude this video first. But just to really hammer it home, it would be nice as the community of hammer-fired users that really do need a hammer-fire training tool that doesn't consist in using all of our 45 and 9mm and dry firing drills, that having something to use at home, or even for us at the range that shoot, hard or rubber bullets or marble paintballs, you know what I'm talking about, the home defense ones, or paintball field, for those that, allow 43 cal. I'm blessed that my local field does. It's a training tool for us that actually carry these in real life, these hammer fired. It's a commodity you don't get, because for striker guys, you can have these real action paintball pistols, get that John Wick feel in there, or you have the TIPX, which Tippmann's awesome. It's a big freaking pistol though. Or you have the FSC, which is a superior, very small, modular, paintball pistol. Personally, even though it's probably one superior. I think it looks like the Rebel pilot pistol off of Battlefront 2. Shout out to the PS2 days. We don't have a lot of these hammer fired models, and it would be appreciated if we could have that. Those of you that could change that. But that's all I've got, guys. Yeah, just the old pistols, man. These things, there's so many different things that you have to work on, you have to repair, you have to upkeep, whereas these newer ones, they're just so much more simpler. They actually use a fire control unit. This is my oldest CO2 pistol. I actually bought this one while I was in foster care still. Uses a fire control unit, if you will, so it doesn't come apart, like a slide, like a modern handgun. It's a unit that has the barrel, the trigger assembly, all of it, all in one cast. Excuse me. Of course, these guys, the slide comes apart, separates from the lower frame, and then you take it apart from there. These things are simpler to work on. They work, they're probably cheap to make. Oh, they are cheap to make. And then they sell them for a lot. Just like Glock. These guys, never mind, I can't talk trash, I don't want to get in trouble. These guys make a lot on their product. Mind you, it is a good product though, and they have a generous warranty. But I'm going to go ahead and conclude it here while we're at 15 minutes. If you guys want any videos, I've been trying to make gameplay, but I've got all sorts of footage using my... This is actually the one I field and I use, and I love using my sidearm. I think I got 5 kills in one match with this guy. Very honorable kills too, and it was... Oh, dude. Whew! Ugh, I love this thing. Love it. But, again, I'm going to conclude it here. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully for the select small population that have an interest in this and that have been wanting some justification, hopefully this brings some closure for you. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for watching. Yes.